Today we're inside the Fishbowl with marketing team lead Jason Lehman talking about our summer webinar series. So Jason, tell our listeners why you chose the automating tasks in Oracle Webcenter content as the topic for a series of webinars.
Sure. So Oracle Webcenter content is an enterprise content management system loaded with very powerful features, including the ability to load content into the system, content-based workflows, notification of expiration for content, and then integrating security systems such as LDAP, AD, or single sign-on solutions with the system. But with each of those features, there exist gaps, and so that's where Fishbowl comes in.
So you mentioned gaps. What are some of those gaps with loading content into Webcenter? One of the first key steps that organizations must do.
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention that Oracle Webcenter content does include many different options to get content into the system. But it's the power of and how quickly you can do that's really the key. So, for example, loading content, putting content into a watch directory, having that content be automatically watched, if you will, and then automatically imported. Our enterprise batch loader component can enable administrators to do that, where batch imports just happen automatically. And Webcenter content does include its own enterprise batch importer utility, if you will. But if you're looking for more features for batch loading content, including integrating with third-party systems and then loading that content directly into the workflow, enterprise batch loader, which Fishbowl provides, may be of more value for you.
You also mentioned workflow automation. Can you tell me a little bit more about how Fishbowl can help with this as well?
Yeah, so Webcenter content, also one of its most powerful features is its content-based workflows. These are simple, few steps for each workflow, but they're very important for such things as publishing content to a website, reviewing internal requests such as a capital expenditure request, or reviewing and approving third-party content such as contracts or vendor contracts, things like that. But it's really extending those capabilities to provide more workflow automation and additional capabilities, such as the ability to search for workflows. So our workflow solution set component includes the ability to do a workflow search, where you can do a search for all content in a workflow, and then that search will pull back how many days each content item has been in a particular workflow step. It also includes a workflow history, so if you want to see the history of all your workflows, a full audit trail, if you will, including approve and reject comments, which are typically lost, workflow solution set can help you there as well.
And how about content notifications? What is the Fishbowl component that can help out there?
That component is called Subscription Notifier, and that's a component that allows you to build out rule-based content notifications and really extends upon the notification of expiration component in Oracle Webcenter content. So part of that, some of the features that are included in that is the ability to build out email notifications, alerting users when content is set to expire, when content needs to be reviewed, or when a new version has been checked in. But it's more than just the business rule-based content tracking and notification system. It also includes the ability to invoke side effects. And a side effect could be taking content that needs to be reviewed or is about set to expire directly into a workflow, so it gets into that workflow process where a user would then be instructed to review it, update it, archive it, or delete it.
And lastly, how about automating security management?
Yeah, so that's a very key one for a lot of organizations, and the problem that a lot of organizations have is there's a long on-ramp or delay before users actually have access to content that's in the system. Typically, Webcenter users have to first log in, and then the content that they need to have access to needs to be manually assigned by an administrator. And even if you're looking to integrate Webcenter content with your LDAP, AD, or single sign-on solution, there's a lot of configuration necessary to make that happen, and so there's a lot of manual steps. And as you start to build out the various configurations and integrations with those systems, you might see that the amount of groups you have to maintain are in the thousands. And so you end up with a very complex security model, and that can impact overall system performance. Additionally, if you're worried about compliance and risk, one of the things that you might want to be able to do and generate reports about is who which users have access to particular pieces of content or which groups have access to particular pieces of content. So being able to do a quick search or query on the various users that have access to content, pull that content, that list back, and then quickly deny users access to content. It's all things that organizations would like to do and be able to act upon quickly. So advanced user security mapping, or AWESOME as we like to call it, really bridges that gap between your web-centered security and your enterprise security system. It includes a powerful rules engine where administrators can build out these rules to really define and use directory information to make sure that the right content is being viewed by the right people or groups. And it really helps extend upon the integration that Webcenter has with LDAP, AD, and single sign-on solutions by interpreting additional directory information, such as user attributes, organizational units, group memberships, to help define access to content.
And where can you go for more information?
So we just completed a webinar series. All of the webinars were recorded. More detail regarding each one of those components: Enterprise Batch Loader, Workflow Solution Set, Subscription Notifier, and Advanced User Security Mapping. And then the last one, all four of those components actually combine and come together to form Admin Suite. So we recorded 3 different webinars on those topics, and those can be found from the webinars page on our website under the News and Events section at www.fishbowlsolutions.com.
Thanks, and you've been Inside the Fishbowl with Marketing Team Lead Jason Lehman.